Arrival from a far asterisk. Once upon a time, in a galaxy far beyond our own, there was a small green planet named Zephyria. This planet was a vibrant place, filled with sparkling lakes, towering trees, and colorful creatures. Among these creatures was a curious alien named Zorblax. He was unlike anyone else in his vibrant community. With 3 eyes that twinkled like stars, soft, shimmering skin that glowed faintly in the dark, and the ability to float just above the ground, Zorblax had an insatiable thirst for adventure. Every evening, while gazing through his telescope, Zorblax would watch the stars and dream of visiting different worlds. One day, while studying the stars, he noticed a beautiful blue and green planet spinning gracefully in space. Earth, he whispered in awe, noting its swirling oceans, sprawling forests, and varied landscapes. Zorblax had heard many stories about Earth from the other aliens in his community. They spoke of its fascinating creatures, magnificent structures, and rich cultures. The thought of experiencing Earth for himself filled him with excitement. Determined to see this planet, Zorblax gathered his courage and his trusty space travel gear. He meticulously designed a small, sleek spaceship, which he named the Zephyr. It could travel through galaxies and comfortably seat him for the long journey. With a final wave to his friends, Zorblax set off, zooming through the stars toward Earth, his heart racing with anticipation. The journey begins. The journey through space was filled with wonders. Zorblax flew past colorful nebulae swirling with gases in shades of blue and pink. He marveled at the sparkling stars that twinkled in the black void. He played with starlight, bouncing it off his 3 eyes like a prism, creating beautiful rainbows inside his spaceship. Comets zipped by, leaving trails of glittering dust that sparkled like fireworks in the darkness. As he approached Earth, Zorblax felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He had studied Earth's atmosphere, climate, and geography, but nothing could prepare him for what awaited him. He set his spaceship on a course to a quiet park in a small town, hoping to observe the inhabitants without drawing too much attention to himself. "Here goes nothing," he said as he expertly landed the spaceship among the trees. The leaves rustling gently in the soft breeze. Part 3, First Impressions. As Zorblax stepped out of his spaceship, he marveled at the beauty of Earth. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of grass and blooming flowers. Sunlight filtered through the trees, casting a warm glow over everything. He watched as children played nearby, running and laughing, their joy echoing through the park. Zorblax floated closer, trying to blend in, but his shimmering skin sparkled in the sunlight, drawing the attention of a curious little girl named Lily. "Whoa! Look at that!" she exclaimed, pointing at Zorblax. The other children turned to look, their eyes wide with wonder. Zorblax, realizing he had been spotted, decided to introduce himself. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Max who dreamed of the moon every single night. Max was only 6 years old, but he had a big imagination. His bedroom walls were covered in glow-in-the-dark stars, and he had a model of the solar system hanging above his bed. His favorite bedtime story was about astronauts and rockets, and every night, before he fell asleep, he would gaze out of his window at the moon, imagining what it would be like to walk on its surface. One night, after his mother tucked him in and kissed him goodnight, Max whispered to himself, "I wish I could visit the moon." He closed his eyes, and as he drifted off to sleep, something magical happened. A gentle, silvery light filled his room, and when he opened his eyes again, he wasn't in his bed anymore. Instead, he was sitting in a small, shiny rocket ship. Max blinked in amazement. The rocket ship's interior was cozy and filled with buttons, lights, and levers. It had a large window at the front, and through it, Max could see the stars twinkling brightly. The moon, big and round, was just ahead, much closer than it had ever looked from Earth. How did I get here? Max wondered aloud. Suddenly, a soft, gentle voice filled the air. "You made a wish, and your dream came true," said the voice. Max looked around but didn't see anyone. "I am your rocket ship," the voice continued. "I'm here to take you to the moon." Max's eyes lit up with excitement. "Really? I'm going to the moon?" he asked. "Yes," the rocket ship replied. "Just sit back, and I'll take care of everything." Max buckled himself into the seat, his heart pounding with excitement. "I'm ready," he shouted. With a soft rumble, the rocket ship's engines came to life. In an instant, they shot up into the sky, leaving Earth far behind. Max's heart raced as he flew through the vastness of space. Stars zipped by, and planets appeared in the distance. He pressed his face against the window, marveling at the view. Below, Earth looked like a big, blue marble. The rocket ship glided smoothly, and Max felt safe and warm inside. "How long until we reach the moon?" he asked. "Not long," the rocket ship answered. "We'll be there soon. In the meantime, look around. There's so much to see in space." Max looked out the other windows and saw something amazing. Far off to the side, he spotted a group of asteroids gently floating by, glowing with a soft, golden light. And even farther away, he saw a sparkling comet with a bright tail streaking through the sky. "This is incredible," Max whispered, completely mesmerized. He felt like the luckiest kid in the universe. As they flew closer to the moon, Max noticed something moving just outside the window. It looked like a small, glowing creature, fluttering alongside the rocket ship. Max squinted, trying to get a better look. The creature was no bigger than a bird, and it sparkled like a star. "What's that?" Max asked, pointing out the window. "That's Luna," the rocket ship said. "She's a moon sprite. Luna lives on the moon and helps travelers find their way. She'll be your guide when we land." Luna twirled in the air, leaving a trail of stardust behind her, and then she waved at Max with a tiny hand. Max waved back, feeling a surge of excitement. He couldn't believe he was about to meet a real moon sprite. It was an ordinary night in the small mountain town where Lucas lived, until it wasn't. Lucas, a 14-year-old boy with a passion for astronomy, lay sprawled on the roof of his house, peering through his telescope at the starry sky. His fascination with the universe was more than a hobby, it was an obsession. His room was filled with space posters, models of planets, and stacks of astronomy books. The night sky was calm, with only the gentle rustle of wind through the trees, but as Lucas adjusted his telescope, something strange caught his attention. Far off in the distance, a cluster of bright, multicolored lights moved erratically across the sky. At first, he thought it was a meteor shower, but the way the lights shifted, changing direction abruptly and without pattern, made him freeze. Then, with a sudden flash, the lights shot downward, vanishing behind the forest that bordered the town. Lucas's heart pounded. Could it be an alien spacecraft? raced with excitement and fear, unable to ignore the possibility that he had just witnessed something extraterrestrial. The urge to investigate was overwhelming. He jumped off the roof, grabbed a flashlight and a backpack, and raced into the woods, not knowing that this decision would change his life forever. Lucas had explored the woods near his home countless times, but this night, they felt different. The trees loomed over him like giants, their twisted branches casting eerie shadows across the path. The forest, usually alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures, was unnaturally silent. Even the wind had stilled. His flashlight beam cut through the darkness as he trekked deeper into the forest. Every crack of a twig or rustle of leaves made him jump. But Lucas pushed on, his curiosity outweighing his fear. He knew the lights had come down somewhere ahead. As he neared a clearing, a soft, metallic hum filled the air. The ground beneath his feet vibrated slightly. Lucas's breath caught in his throat as he stepped through the last of the trees and into the clearing. There, partially hidden by thick underbrush, was something he had only ever dreamed of seeing, a sleek, silver spacecraft. The craft was unlike anything Lucas had ever imagined. Its surface shimmered in the moonlight, with smooth, curved edges that glowed faintly. It didn't look damaged, but the way it was positioned, leaning at an angle, suggested it had crash-landed. His heart raced with excitement, but also with fear. He was standing before something completely alien, something from another world. Just as he took a step closer, a low hiss echoed from the ship, and a door slid open. Lucas's eyes widened as two figures emerged from the ship. They were tall, much taller than any human, with long, graceful limbs and silvery blue skin that seemed to glow in the moonlight.